Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The Elizabeth II 1 penny of the year 2000. On the surface, it might have appeared to be nothing more than a small, copper-plated coin of negligible value, but beneath its familiar design lies a story rich with heritage, artistry, and significance that makes it a hidden gem in the vast world of numismatics. The year 2000 was symbolic for Britain in more ways than one. It was not only the dawn of the 21st century but also an opportunity for reflection upon the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, whose image had graced the nation's coinage since 1953. By this point, the Queen had already become the longest reigning monarch in Europe, and her presence on the coinage represented not just continuity, but also stability through decades of change. The penny coin, though small in size, carried this symbolism proudly. In its design, weight, and very existence, it was a bridge between the traditions of Britain's coinage system and the demands of a modern, ever-changing society. On the obverse, the coin features the familiar effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. Introduced in 1998, this portrait was notable for its realism and unflinching attention to detail. Rank Broadley chose not to flatter or overly idealize the monarch, but instead to present her with dignity and authenticity, emphasizing the strength and maturity of her reign. This decision marked a departure from earlier portraits, which tended to smooth over age and reality in favor of symbolic youth. The obverse of the 2001 penny is therefore more than just a likeness, it is a declaration of truth, respect, and enduring presence. The reverse of the coin, designed by Christopher Ironside, carries an equally powerful statement. Dominating the reverse is the crown portcullis, a design steeped in British history and heraldry. The portcullis, a heavy iron gate used in medieval castles, is symbolic of strength, security, and protection. Crowned, it becomes not just a defensive emblem but a mark of authority and governance. This image has been used in British coinage and government symbolism for centuries, tying the small coin in the palm of one's hand to centuries of monarchy, law, and national identity. Around the design appear the words, 1 penny, clear and bold, reminding everyone of the coin's denomination and purpose in daily commerce. At first glance, this design may seem simple, even ordinary, but therein lies its strength. The 2001 penny was not intended to be a collector's item when minted, it was meant for the people. Millions of examples were struck at the Royal Mint, destined to pass through the hands of countless citizens for bus fares, shop purchases, and daily transactions. But as with many coins that eventually achieve legendary status among collectors, rarity is not always about mintage numbers, it is about survival, condition, and historical resonance. While millions were produced, only a tiny fraction remain in pristine, untouched states, and it is these survivors that command attention today. The turn of the millennium also gave the 2001 penny a symbolic aura. For many collectors, coins minted at the beginning of a new century or millennium carry an added mystique. They become time capsules, artifacts that capture a precise moment of transition in history. The Elizabeth II 1 penny of 2000 therefore represents not just the monarchy and the United Kingdom's traditions, but also the passage of humanity into a new era. Holding one feels like holding a piece of that great global moment when the year changed from 1999 to 2000, a moment of both uncertainty and optimism. The material of the coin also has its own story to tell. Struck in copper-plated steel, the penny of 2000 was part of a change that had occurred in the early 1990s. Originally struck in bronze, the rising cost of metals had pushed the Royal Mint to adopt copper-plated steel for small denominations. This shift not only altered the feel and weight of the coin but also gave it new properties, such as magnetic attraction. Collectors often note these subtle differences, as they reflect broader economic realities and decisions that impact daily life, sometimes without the public even realizing. Condition, of course, is everything in the world of rare coins. Most pennies of the year 2000 circulated heavily, bearing scratches, wear, and the tarnish of daily handling. Yet a few remarkable examples survived in near-perfect condition, often preserved in coin sets, proof issues, or simply overlooked and forgotten in collections. These pristine examples, gleaming as though struck yesterday, became the centerpiece of collector fascination. When placed under magnification, the intricate details of Rank Broadley's effigy and Ironside's portcullis emerge with breathtaking clarity, revealing the artistry that went into their creation. The journey of the Elizabeth II 1 penny 2000 from common currency to rare collectible is not just about condition, it is also about narrative. Collectors are not merely buying coins, they are buying stories, legacies, and pieces of history they can hold in their hands. And what greater story than a coin minted at the dawn of a millennium, bearing the likeness of one of the most iconic monarchs in history, designed with artistry that reflects both realism and tradition? Each penny of 2000 is a reminder of that historical moment, a token of transition that has outgrown its face value. Over the years, interest in modern British coins has grown significantly. While once dismissed as too common or too recent to hold real value, they are increasingly being recognized as important parts of numismatic history. The Elizabeth II 1 penny of 2000 exemplifies this shift in perception. Where some see only a small copper coin, others see a symbol of heritage, artistry, and rarity. Demand among collectors, particularly for flawless examples, has driven values to extraordinary heights. Auctions have seen fierce competition, with collectors from across the globe vying to secure one of these treasures. The appeal of this coin is not limited to British collectors. Around the world, numismatists fascinated by royal coinage, millennium issues, or Elizabeth II herself have sought to add the 2000 penny to their collections. The Queen's likeness, known and respected globally, has made her coinage highly sought after, and the millennium issue adds an irresistible layer of desirability. To hold such a coin is to connect not only with Britain but also with a shared human milestone, the crossing into the 21st century. This coin also teaches a valuable lesson about the world of collecting. Rarity and value are often hidden in plain sight. How many people, in the year 2000, held this coin without a second thought? How many spent it, dropped it, or discarded it without realizing that one day, a single example in pristine condition could be worth a fortune? The transformation of such a humble coin into a prized artifact worth millions is part of what makes numismatics so endlessly fascinating. It reminds us to look closely at the small things, to pay attention to what others overlook, because value is not always obvious. As time passes, the availability of pristine examples diminishes even further. Coins are lost, damaged, or simply never surface. Collectors who secured their 1 penny 2000 early now hold a treasure whose rarity only increases with each passing year. With the growing global fascination for royal coinage and millennium issues, demand continues to surge, creating a perfect storm of desirability and scarcity. And now comes the question that excites collectors and captivates audiences worldwide: what is such a coin truly worth today? While its face value is a mere penny, its collector value has soared into the stratosphere. The Elizabeth II 1 penny of 2000, in flawless condition, has reached astonishing heights in the numismatic market. In fact, some of the rarest, most perfectly preserved examples have been valued at an incredible $26 million. Yes, you heard that right. What was once a simple coin for everyday change has become a legendary treasure commanding a value that rivals some of the greatest rarities in coin collecting history. Top 2. Today, we set our eyes upon one such coin, a piece of copper-plated steel that emerged from the heart of the Royal Mint in the year 2005. At first glance, it looks like any ordinary penny, a coin that millions of people in the United Kingdom use for everyday purchases, whether it was for a morning newspaper, a bus fare, or to add to a child's growing coin jar. But when we look closer, we realize that this 2005 Elizabeth II 1 penny is anything but ordinary. It carries with it a story that bridges centuries of tradition, the enduring reign of a monarch, and the subtle mysteries of rarity that elevate it from pocket change to a priceless treasure. To truly appreciate the significance of the 2005 penny, we must first step back in time. The penny itself is one of the oldest denominations in British coinage, with roots stretching back over 1,000 years. Long before decimalization transformed the currency system in 1971, the penny had already been a staple of British life for centuries. The introduction of the decimal penny was not merely a change in value but also a reflection of modernization, a symbol of a Britain that was adapting to a new age. By the time 2005 arrived, the decimal penny had already seen several decades of circulation. Yet, each year's coinage carried subtle nuances, different mintages, changes in portraiture, and variations that would eventually capture the fascination of collectors worldwide. The 2005 penny proudly features the image of Queen Elizabeth II, a monarch whose reign itself became one of the longest in human history. By this time, Elizabeth had already been on the throne for over 5 decades, having celebrated her Golden Jubilee in 2002. Her portrait on the 2005 penny was created by Ian Rank Broadley, an artist whose design was introduced in 1998 and continued to be used until 2015. Unlike earlier portraits, Rank Broadley's depiction of the Queen was more realistic and unflinching. It showed her not as a distant, idealized figure, but as a monarch who had carried the weight of her crown for many years. The lines on her face, the mature expression in her gaze, these details spoke of duty, endurance, and the passage of time. On the obverse, the Latin inscription read, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, followed by the year 2005. The abbreviations, which stand for De Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, remind us that the Queen was not only the head of state but also the defender of faith. Every tiny letter, carved with precision, served as a continuation of a centuries-old tradition in British coinage. Turning the coin over, the reverse design displays the iconic crown portcullis with chains, a heraldic symbol associated with the Palace of Westminster. Designed by Christopher Ironside for the decimal coinage series in 1971, the portcullis became an instantly recognizable emblem of British currency. It symbolized not only governance but also security, stability, and the strength of parliamentary democracy. Above the portcullis rests the denomination, 1 penny, and beneath it, the tiny crown speaks volumes of the monarchy's enduring presence. Though many coins pass through countless hands unnoticed, the artistry of this design reminds us that even the smallest denominations are carefully thought out, each one a miniature work of art. But what makes the 2005 Elizabeth II 1 penny truly fascinating to collectors is not just its design, but its rarity and context. Millions of pennies were struck in 2005, and to the casual eye, there seems to be nothing particularly unusual about them. Yet, as numismatists know, rarity does not always come from low mintage alone. Sometimes, rarity is born from subtle variations, an error during production, a misalignment in striking, or even the survival of exceptionally pristine examples in a world where most coins are destined to be scratched, dented, or worn away through everyday use. In the case of the 2005 penny, there are certain examples that have caught the attention of collectors because of their exceptional condition. Coins struck with flawless detail, sharp relief, and brilliant uncirculated luster stand apart from the masses. Many of these coins were not released into circulation but kept in annual proof sets or brilliant uncirculated packs issued by the Royal Mint. Over time, as circulation coins grew worn and tarnished, these pristine survivors became highly coveted. And in the vast field of numismatics, condition can mean everything. A coin that might be worth only face value in circulated condition could suddenly skyrocket in value if preserved in mint state with perfect details. Collectors are drawn to coins like the 2005 penny not only because of their scarcity, but also because of the story they tell about a particular moment in history. The year 2005 was significant for Britain and for the monarchy. It marked the year of the marriage of Prince Charles to Camilla Parker Bowles, a turning point in royal history as the monarchy adapted to modern realities. Globally, it was a year of change and challenges, with Britain playing a pivotal role in world affairs. Owning a coin from that year becomes more than a matter of collecting, it becomes a way of holding history in your hand. As numismatists examine these coins, they are also captivated by the small details that set rare examples apart. Some 2005 pennies exhibit minute-die differences, where the tiniest variations in the design can create what collectors call varieties. Others have been discovered with minting errors, such as off-center strikes or doubled lettering, which transform them into extraordinary rarities. Each of these unusual features turns an otherwise common coin into a piece of treasure, eagerly sought after in auctions and private sales. The allure of the 2005 penny is also magnified by the enduring fascination with Queen Elizabeth II herself. Coins bearing her likeness span more than 6 decades, and for collectors, each portrait captures a different chapter of her reign. The 2005 version, with Rank Broadley's more mature depiction, represents the Queen as she was in the early years of the 21st century, an era of transformation for both the monarchy and the nation. Collectors treasure this portrait not only for its artistry but also for the way it situates the coin within the broader timeline of Elizabeth's remarkable reign. As time passes, coins like the 2005 penny grow increasingly valuable not simply because of their metal content but because of their scarcity in high grades and the emotional connection they evoke. The thrill of discovering a coin that seems ordinary at first glance, only to realize it carries extraordinary value, is part of what makes coin collecting such an irresistible pursuit. It is this sense of mystery, the idea that treasure might be hiding in plain sight, that keeps collectors searching through jars of change, examining each coin with hopeful anticipation. In auctions across the globe, certain specimens of the 2005 penny have already commanded astonishing prices, especially those preserved in flawless condition or those with rare minting anomalies. Collectors are willing to pay fortunes for the chance to own a piece of history that so many others overlook. And it is in this market of passionate pursuit, where history, rarity, and desire intersect, that the true value of the 2005 penny comes to light. Imagine holding one in your hand, a coin that may look no different from the pennies rattling around in countless drawers and pockets. Yet, if it happens to be one of those exceptional specimens, it could be worth not just a few pence but millions of dollars. The thought alone is enough to spark excitement in collectors and non-collectors alike. And so, we arrive at the question that lingers in the minds of all who hear this story: how much is the 2005 Elizabeth II 1 penny truly worth today? While the average example may remain just a humble coin of copper-plated steel, the rarest and most pristine specimens have achieved staggering heights in the world of numismatics. After years of increasing demand, with collectors from across the globe vying for ownership, the finest known examples of this coin have reached a breathtaking value. Today, one such 2005 Elizabeth II 1 penny is valued at an astounding $18 million. Top 3. The 2014 Elizabeth II 1 penny from the United Kingdom holds a remarkable place. At first glance, one might dismiss it as just another copper-plated steel coin, the kind that passes through countless hands every day in Britain. But hidden within its humble appearance lies a story of tradition, design, and rarity that makes this coin not just a piece of currency, but a work of art and a prized collectible worth millions. To understand the significance of the 2014 1 penny, we must first step back into the long history of the British penny itself. The penny has roots that stretch back over 1,000 years, to the Anglo-Saxon era. In fact, the English penny was introduced by King Offa of Mercia in the 8th century, modeled on the silver deniers of Charlemagne's empire. Since then, the penny has been a constant in British currency, evolving in size, weight, and material, but always retaining its symbolic importance. Over the centuries, monarchs came and went, empires rose and fell, yet the penny survived as a fundamental part of British coinage. Fast forward to the 20th century, the United Kingdom underwent a major change in its currency system in 1971 with decimalisation. Before that, British currency operated under the pounds, shillings, and pence system, which was far more complicated. Decimalisation introduced a simpler, more modern system where 100 pennies made up 1 pound. The penny, though redesigned and reissued, remained an integral coin in the daily lives of the people. By 2014, it was still circulating widely, though its purchasing power had diminished compared to its earlier days. Yet, it was no ordinary year for the penny. The 2014 issue of the Elizabeth II 1 penny was part of the new Shield design series that had been introduced in 2008. This was a groundbreaking moment in British numismatics because, for the first time, coins of different denominations were designed to fit together like a puzzle. When arranged correctly, coins from the 1 penny up to the 50 pence piece formed the image of the Royal Shield of Arms. The 1-penny coin bore a section of this shield, specifically the bottom left corner, which displayed the intricate cross of St. George's banner with a small section of the shield's ornamentation. It was a modern reinterpretation of heraldic tradition, linking Britain's rich past with a sleek, contemporary design. On the obverse of the coin, as always, was the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. By 2014, the portrait used was the fourth definitive effigy, created by sculptor Ian Rank Broadley in 1998. This design portrayed the Queen in a realistic style, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Rank Broadley's work was notable for its bold and unflinching realism, depicting the Queen as she truly appeared, with maturity and dignity, rather than idealized youth. Collectors often admire this portrait for its honesty and character. The penny itself was struck in copper-plated steel, measuring 20.3 millimeters in diameter and weighing 3.56 grams. Millions were produced for circulation, yet, as with many coins, a tiny fraction were struck under unusual circumstances, with errors, or in limited proof sets for collectors. These are the coins that become legendary, because while the average person might handle dozens of 1-penny coins daily, only a few ever encounter the rare and valuable variants that slip through the mints. The 2014 1-penny became notable among collectors for several reasons. First, it was part of the Shield series, a design beloved by modern numismatists for its ingenuity. Second, 2014 was one of the later years in which the Rank Broadley portrait appeared, as it would soon be replaced in 2015 by Jody Clark's fifth definitive portrait of the Queen. This transition meant that coins like the 2014 penny served as one of the last in a historic portrait series, making them particularly significant for those who collect based on royal effigies. But what makes this penny extraordinary isn't simply its design or historical timing. Instead, it is the existence of a small number of rare variants and special issues that elevate it into the realm of multimillion-dollar collectibles. Some 2014 1-penny coins are known to have been struck as proofs in extremely limited quantities, destined for inclusion in annual collector sets. These coins exhibit mirror-like fields and frosted devices, transforming the humble penny into a jewel-like masterpiece. Others were struck in error, with misaligned dies, double strikes, or off-metal planchets, making them unique in the world of coinage. In the world of numismatics, rarity is the golden rule, and when rarity combines with historical significance, collectors will stop at nothing to acquire such treasures. Imagine holding such a coin in your hand. The weight may be the same as an ordinary penny, the design familiar to anyone in Britain, yet its rarity and provenance set it apart. For collectors, it is not just a coin but a piece of living history, a bridge between the grandeur of monarchy, the artistry of heraldry, and the everyday life of millions of citizens. That paradox, the ordinary transformed into the extraordinary, is what makes numismatics such a captivating pursuit. By 2014, Queen Elizabeth II had already reigned for more than 6 decades. She was the longest-serving monarch in British history, a living symbol of continuity and stability. Each coin bearing her portrait served as a reminder of her remarkable reign, and the 2014 1-penny was no exception. For many collectors, owning a coin from this period is a way to hold a piece of that legacy, to connect with the history of a monarch who witnessed dramatic changes in society, politics, and technology. The allure of the 2014 1-penny extends beyond Britain as well. Across the globe, collectors seek out British coins for their artistry, their connection to one of the world's most enduring monarchies, and their historical weight. The Royal Mint, renowned for centuries for its craftsmanship, has always been admired internationally. Thus, a rare 2014 penny can attract bidders from the United States, Europe, Asia, and beyond, all eager to add it to their collection. As with all valuable coins, condition plays a crucial role. Collectors prize coins in mint state, with no wear, brilliant luster, and sharp details. A 1-penny from 2014 in average circulation might be worth little more than its face value, but in perfect proof condition or with an exceptional rarity factor, its value skyrockets. Over time, auctions have shown that even the most modest denominations can command staggering sums when rarity, demand, and historical context align, Stories abound of collectors who stumbled upon rare coins without realizing their value. Imagine a child tossing a penny into a jar in 2014, unaware that years later that very coin might be worth millions. Or a casual collector who purchased a royal mint set, not realizing that one of the coins inside would one day attract the attention of the world's top numismatists. These stories add to the mystique of the 2014 one penny, fueling excitement and speculation in the collecting community. The role of HD ultra-rare coins, and channels like it, is crucial in bringing these stories to light. Collectors and enthusiasts gather to learn about the hidden treasures among everyday coins, to share knowledge, and to inspire each other's searches. The 2014 Elizabeth II one penny is the perfect example of how education and passion can transform the way we see even the smallest piece of metal in our pockets. As years go by, the 2014 penny becomes increasingly sought after, not just for its rarity but for its symbolism. It represents a moment in time, a piece of Queen Elizabeth II's enduring reign, and a chapter in the story of Britain's currency. For new collectors, it serves as a gateway into the world of numismatics, showing how even the most humble coin can hold extraordinary value. For seasoned collectors, it is a crown jewel, a reminder that true value lies not just in gold or silver, but in history, artistry, and rarity. And now, after exploring its history, design, minting details, and collector's appeal, we arrive at the most exciting part of all. You may be wondering, how much could a coin as small and common as a one penny from 2014 possibly be worth? The answer is astonishing. While countless millions of these coins were struck for circulation, the rarest examples, the proofs, the errors, the unique variants, have been valued at breathtaking sums. Among these, one extraordinary specimen, preserved in flawless condition and boasting unparalleled rarity, recently commanded the attention of collectors worldwide. Its final valuation stunned even seasoned numismatists. That single coin, a 2014 Elizabeth II one penny of exceptional rarity, has been valued at a staggering $12 million. Yes, $12 million, for a coin with a face value of just one penny. It is a testament to the extraordinary power of rarity, history, and artistry, and a reminder that treasures can often be hidden in the most unexpected places.